Yo. Alright guys, it's Thursday afternoon. We've just finished up a nice long walk on rest day. It's getting so cold here at the moment. Very, very cold. But lately, my life, my head, everything's been a little bit messy at the moment. Business is stressful. Clients, well, a new client who cancelled a couple of days ago, who just came on board in the program, and then a few hours later had to cancel. And sometimes, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, it makes you question everything. For anyone who's a business owner or an entrepreneur, you know exactly the feeling that I am talking about. That thought that always creeps in every now and then. One thing, you know, one moment it's a high, next minute you're at a low. And you just get better at dealing with these emotions, let's say. But it's this thought that creeps in. It's like, it always makes you think, is this even worth it? You know, is this for me? You know, that unstable feeling of flipping heck. That unstable feeling of those wheels are bigger than my car. That unstable feeling. It's pretty hard at times, you know. But this feeling that you get as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, when it's not always going at 100% when you want it to, you know, it's November, it's December, and it is a much quieter time for the fitness industry, for every coach, because it's approaching Christmas. Everyone sort of lets themselves go. Everyone's counting their pennies up until Christmas, and then obviously they're going to start again in January. But the emotions and the feelings that you can go through at this time of the year as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a coach, it's that same mindset that builds your physique. It's the same mindset that I've had to learn and deal with to build my physique over time, you know. And I think if you look at it this way, every hardship needs two things. The first one is obviously accountability, to stay on track when it isn't always where you want it to be. But the second one is understanding that it's always a stepping stone, okay? Right now, it's a stressful season. It's November, it's December, it is leading up to Christmas, and it is just that time of year. You know, it's like that with a lot of industries as well. And it really does sometimes take a toll on your confidence, your self-esteem. It really does take a knock on your confidence. And a lot of the time, you just want to keep it to yourself. You know, you feel a little bit embarrassed and you don't want to tell anyone about it. But that is, like, genuinely, that is just part of the game. If you want to get into this game, and it's the same with building your physique, if you want to better yourself and become that 2.0 version of yourself, the best version of yourself, it's just part of the game. You can give everything to everyone. Right? You serve, you show up. That's exactly what I do in my business. I feel like sometimes I pour my heart and soul into this business, making sure that I go the extra mile for my clients to make sure they achieve the best result possible, not just physical, but mental. This is more than just, especially within my coaching anyway, it's more than just fitness. It's more than just a physical transformation. It's a life transformation. So when I get somebody come back to me a few hours later after just signing up, I'm like, you do not understand the opportunity that you are missing here, okay? It is just part of the game, and you have to just get better with dealing with the emotions, and it is the same with your physique. You're going to need to understand that through the journey that you are trying to face, if you try and do all these things on your own especially, there's going to be so many freaking hardships, so many challenges and obstacles and hiccups in the way. And you know, sometimes you really do get humbled. As soon as you think you're at that high, you will get humbled again. God will put you in his place, and God will tell you, okay, if you really want this, I will hand it to you, but it's over there. I remember we were in Miami a few weeks ago, and we went to church on a Sunday, and the reader was saying, God will hand you something, but he will not physically hand it to you. He will show you where it is, but it is your job to go over and get it. He will point you in the direction. You say, there, go and get it. It's yours for the taking. It's right in front of you, but you need to go and get it. But along this journey, You need to understand that it's never going to be just a smooth ride. And the reason that I feel this way is because from years of developing my physique and learning what I've learned, gaining such a passion and a love for what I do, I want to become so successful at what I do because I love the game. So when you sometimes face the hardships or a little setback, it frustrates you. And I understand these emotions, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with tests. But at the same time, it frustrates me because I care. Because I care. But the reason I don't quit is because of how much I care, because of how much it means to me. And the issue is, this is the issue with you and your fitness journey and you trying to become the best version of yourself. You're treating it like it's a chore. Do not lose sight of the bigger picture here, because you're going to face hardships. You're going to face adversity. You're going to face struggles along your journey. It's never going to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would be in the best shape possible. Everyone would have a six-pack. Everyone would be rich by now. But it's not how it is. And the reason for that is because of the road bumps. 99% of people, average people, give up within the first sign of discomfort, within the first hardship that they face. They give up instantly. Why? Because they want life to be easy. They want it to be easy, and that's why they never ever win. The worst mindset that you can have is giving up or playing victim here, right? Instead, I want you to think about it like this. Think to yourself, well, what can I do instead? In terms of, I don't mean actually replace it with something else, but what can I do differently here? You know, how can I tighten up the process here? Are there a couple of tweaks that I could make? Maybe it's my mindset, my recovery, my vices, my habits. Maybe what is one thing that I could improve on each and every single week, not all at once, but one thing at a time, then it's going to allow me to get back onto the road that I want to be on. The reason why so many people fail and give up within the first sight is because they see this roadblock as the end of the road. They see this as the end. But this is genuinely just a test from God to see how much you actually want it. It's as simple as that with your physique, with your fitness journey. If you're trying to lose 20, 30 pounds as a busy professional, as a busy guy, you know that it's not going to be easy because of the habits that you have acquired over the last few years, sitting long hours at your desk, not eating the correct food, a lack of training. It's not going to be the easiest to begin with because you need to fix what has gone wrong with your body. There are going to be ups and downs. You don't have the physique of an athlete. So instead, just think this: what is maybe one thing that I could change? What is something that I could tighten up to enable me to get back on track and become where I want to be? You know, how can I improve? What could I do differently today or tomorrow to get back on the road that I want to be on? Also understand that the process itself isn't really the hard part. It's not the very, very difficult part, you know. Showing up to the gym, maybe it's tracking your calories, doing cardio. That becomes easy because you fall in love with it, right? The hard part is the mental battles. That is the real struggle, because along the way, you're going to have your brain tell you, you're going to have all these emotions flying in and out saying, oh, is this for me? Is this, that, the other? Should I just go back to laying on the sofa? Maybe I could just go back to sleep. I could lay in. I could do this. I could do that, the other. That is the hard part. It's the war and the mental battle within yourself, within your own brain on a daily basis. It's that battle that you need to fight against. Because your brain, yourself, you're always going to look for the easy option, and you need to train your brain in a way to fight against that inner bitch inside of your own head. That is the hard part. The showing up, the gym, you know, the calories, the sleeping, that's the easy part. The hard part is winning that battle within your own head. That is the difficult part. And it's the same test for my business. That's what I've had to learn over the past couple of years since moving online from being a personal trainer on the gym floor. It's, you know, falling in love with the process, doing the thing that I love, obviously serving people, changing people's lives for the better, completely transforming others, being that mentor, being that person that I wish I had in my teens and my late teens, into my early 20s to guide me, to get me to where I wanted to be a lot quicker, because for me it was like years of just trying to figure it out, and until I really found out the system, and why a system that genuinely does work, and it's a system that I wish I knew years ago. That is the easy part, right? It's the serving people, it's the posting, the transformations, posting online and obviously doing the transformations. That is the easy part once you build momentum, because momentum is anything, and it's the same with your fitness journey. The hard test within business, it's the humbling moments, the times when you just want to pack it in. I don't right now. I never want to pack this in. I'm never going to. But I had those doubts at the start. I really did. Because I was not in a position that other people were. Same as your fitness journey. You look to other people, you see what other position people are in, and you start to obviously doubt yourself, and you think, can I get to that level? Can I do this? Can I do that? Of course you fucking can. And you either say this, you either say, why me? Put all the blame on yourself, play the victim card, thinking that you're the unlucky one and they've just had it overnight, right? Or you say this, when you go through the hardships, you say, what I'm doing here is building me to become a better, a harder, and a tougher character over time. The depth of your struggle will be the height of your success. Because the more that you go through, the more fire and fuel that you're going to have inside of you going forwards. If you had it easy along the whole way, when you get to a certain level, there's nothing left inside of you. Being in a bad spot, being at, let's say, rock bottom, for example, if you're not in a good place, it's a good thing. It's a good thing, because is it going to stay like that forever? The position that you are in today, feeling like that? No, of course not. You can change that. So understand that if you're going through a hard time right now, the depth of your struggle will be the height of your success. So the more struggles that you go through, the worse off you feel, the more fire and fuel you are going to have within the side of yourself to really become the person that you want to be. I promise you that. I've learned that. Because every setback that you face is shaping you into someone capable of holding the success that you want. Like I said, if you don't go through any struggles, there's going to be no real fire, no real drive, no real fuel to get to where you want it to be. So see it as a blessing. It may be hard in the moment, it may suck right now, but it's going to be all right. If this gives you fuel, if this gives you fire, this should be your yes moment to turn it around right now. Because these struggles that I face as a business owner, which a lot of people do, that gives me more fuel and it gives me more drive to just fucking become even better. Be even more of a savage. And I always tell my clients this. So however you're feeling right now is not a permanent feeling. And that should give you more fuel and fire to become the person that you want to be. Because the people who don't go through any struggles, let's say for example they live off mummy and daddy and they're born into wealth, generational wealth, they don't end up really anywhere a lot of the time. They're very weak inside because they've got everything gifted to them on the plate. They haven't had to learn the hard way. These struggles mature you. They help you become stronger. Don't always see it as a bad thing and give up, because this should be the fuel and fire inside of you to become the best version of yourself. You see, the difference is between winners and losers is that winners just get up every time. Time on time after again. You cannot lose if you never stop trying. That is the difference. They just get up one more time. They don't just stop because it looks hard or it feels unfair. The only real failure here is just giving up. Just do not give up. If you cannot give up, if you don't give up, you will not fail. You will win in the future if you just don't give up. It's as simple as that. Getting knocked down on your ass isn't failure. Real failure is getting knocked down and staying down. That's why 99% of people stay average, because when they get hurt, when something upsets them a little bit, see a little bit of adversity, see a little setback, they just give up and they just compromise and go back to living a very, very, very average life, and they don't ever want to become the person that they could be. It's a shame. Just look back at all the times that you failed. Look back at all the times that you've been knocked down and still go back up. Because if you're here today, You and I both know that you have been through a lot of struggles in the past. And guess what? You've overcome them. So why are you letting one little thing now feel like it's the end of the world? Weight fluctuations, bad weeks, in terms of meals, in terms of maybe skipping a gym session. You're always going to have that trying to do it on your own. If you're trying to do it on your own. Unexpected stress, personal things going on, family life. It's just life, man. Shit happens. Things do get in the way. It is very, very, very normal. It's just part of life. It is very normal. It's just part of life. It's just part of life sometimes. And the more you can become resilient to this, the more you can just stay resilient and just keep working, keep grinding your ass off, keep showing up for you, the stronger, the more confident you are going to be going forwards. It is just forming you and shaping you right now into the character and the person that you will be in the future. But that 2.0 version of you that you see within yourself will not happen if you give up with the first sign of discomfort. I'm telling you for a fact. I've learned that because I've given up a lot of times in the past and I thought, why did I even get up? Like I was, that close. So just do not stop at the first sign of discomfort because you've faced so many struggles in the past and guess what? You've still overcome them. And the way I like to look at it is your reaction will determine the outcome, not the setback. It's how you react to getting knocked down. Do you get back up or do you stay down to 10 and it's a TKO? It's a knockout, How do you get back up after you get knocked down? That's the main thing. Very few manage to stay consistent when life punches them in the mouth. And for anyone who's waiting until January to start again, if you're just letting yourself go now up until Christmas, just going to sort of take it easy up until Christmas, maybe gain 10, 15, 20 pounds, but it's all right because you're going to start in January and overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight, which doesn't work. If you cannot handle adversity and the setbacks in November, you're not magically going to become disciplined in January. Like, it just won't happen. I see it time and time and time again, and I even made the mistake myself a couple of times. I gave up mid-November, maybe end of October, till December, just ate absolute shit for the last 2 weeks of December heading into January. And then it all just went tits up. So if you start now, start forming the correct habits, building some momentum into your life, just start now. And for everybody waiting, and for everyone watching this waiting until January, if you cannot now, and for anyone who's waiting until January to start, if you cannot handle adversity in November, if you cannot handle a couple of setbacks which just makes you cave and give in until the new year, don't expect to become magically disciplined on January the 1st, because your lifestyle that you acquire now and you follow through with until December, that's going to become a habit. That's enough time for it to become a new lifestyle. So if that is the case, don't expect to change your life in January because it's not going to happen. The best thing that you can do is start right now, because of the version of you that you want to become. You think he gives up in November, December? Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Because that version of you, that 2.0 version of you that you want to become, he isn't created on a specific date. He doesn't start on January the 1st. And he definitely doesn't let himself go in November, December. He's actually created in moments like this. Moments of adversity. Moments of setbacks and hardships. When it's uncomfortable and when it's hard. That is when he strives the most. That is the time when he pushes even harder. When he's not feeling at his best. If you can learn to handle your emotions better and push through the setbacks, you will become somebody that you have never, ever, ever become before, I promise you. But guys, listen. If right now you're struggling, you have no real guidance, no real structure on how to become the person that you want to be, the guy that you want to be, working 40, 50, 60 hours a week with no real guidance, no real structure and clarity on how to get there. You feel like everything is just in a bit of a rut at the moment. Work is taking over. your mental health has declined. I get it. Trust me, I've been there. I've had my years. You can check my other YouTube videos to go through my story and maybe watch some other my content. But if that sounds like you, I have a link below, a type form where you can fill out what's going on, fill in your information. I'll get in touch with you. We can have a little chat just between me and you, or you can find me on Instagram, just drop me a DM. We can have a chat and I can run you through the exact steps to getting you to where you want to be. I can give you a game plan. We'll talk about your struggles, your goals, and exactly where you want to get. Because believe me, I did years of it on my own, and it's not the nicest. So many setbacks leading me to giving up and stopping, and things that I really wish I didn't give up on. Things that maybe some stuff that I started sooner. So if that is you, do not hesitate to reach out, because I would love to have a chat with you. All right. Speak to you soon, boys.